Hello, hey you guys. Well, my look like I had something in my tooth, but what's up, you guys? It's Lex, and we're back here with another video. And I really wanted to discuss this Keith Lee situation because I was just like, girl, I honestly, when it first came about, I didn't really care about it. I was like, girl, who cares? Like, she got him wrong, his name wrong, whatever. I was like, okay, I don't really care. I got other things to worry about. But then it started blooming into this whole ordeal, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, to me, it was not that serious. I know for him, he probably was like, girl, get my name right. And Taraji's probably like, girl, whatever. But I'm like, did this need to get such large fanfare as it has? I was like, baby, what's the transits looking like? Okay. So if you guys are into astrology, if you guys are into occult sciences, if you guys are into divination, tarot, astrology, all of that sort of thing, and you want to get into it, let's go. Let's get into it. Okay. And I just want to have a little sidebar. Thank y'all for so much for paying attention and tuning in and growing with this channel, because I've been feeling really discouraged because I'm like, I got all this Aquarius energy. And I'm just like, damn. And Pluto's an Aquarius. It's retrograde, but it'll go direct in like September or something, and it'll stay there for the next 20 years. But I'm just like, dang, if I would have started doing this kind of stuff earlier, I would have been popped off. But you know what? Showing up is what matters most, right? Showing up is what matters. And for anyone that wants to take a leap of faith and start a business around something that you love, something that you're passionate about, this is your sign to do it, because literally, why not? And I pulled cards, and it had really good cards, so I'm just like, well, let's see where it goes. And let's just check out this transit and see what's going on. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe so that this channel can grow and you can see your girl thrive. Because look at these braids, baby. I need to get some braids, please. I gotta get out of this room. Okay, so let me share my screen and we're gonna get into this transit. Okay, give me 1 second because I want to see how that looks. Y'all like the fit? It's just a little da, you feel me? It's just a little something. Just a little something, want to get real cute for y'all. But let's get into it, right? Okay. One thing that really jumped out to me is that he is a Cancer moon. He's a Cancer moon, y'all. That is so cute. I have the Cancer moon too, so I'll be feeling it. I'm a little sensitive. I'm not saying that he's sensitive in this situation, but just generally speaking, Cancer moons are very sensitive. They're very sensitive to their environment, right? They're very sensitive to just energy, period. And I completely agree with him. I know that he said that he has experienced some social anxiety, and that could be just coming from childhood, right? Like, you're growing up in a kind of unstable environment, and Cancer is like, it's a little crab. Like, Cancer wants to build, wants to have a shell, wants to have protection. So I can get that feeling of like anxiousness if you're not in a very stable environment. And I completely get that. And it's so crazy because right now, at the time of the transits, the BET Awards happened June 30th in LA. So this is just what the chart was looking at the time. This is like a snap chart of what the transits were looking like at that time, and on top of his birth chart. So in the middle is his birth chart, and externally is the transits that were taking place that day. Right. Okay. So one thing that I saw was the sun and Venus was transiting that Cancer moon that was on his Cancer moon. And there was just a big focus of like, this could be potentially having like a big, like a wide screen, an illuminated audience around your emotions, around your family life, around your inner life, right? And he has Jupiter in Capricorn. He has Sun opposing his Jupiter. So what is so crazy is that he has Sun opposing his Jupiter. Like, Jupiter and Capricorn, that's a builder. Like that is somebody that is creating a legacy. That is someone who has an abundance when they are stable, when they are working, when they are, grinding, when they are fortituing this sense of like a pronounced legacy, right? And this is just a key indicator that he is somebody that, in this lifetime, he can come into a lot of material success, a lot of material wealth, as Capricorn is an Earth sign. And Capricorn you already know Capricorn's gonna get to that money. They're gonna get to that bag. But it's so crazy that I feel like this whole ordeal that happened, I feel like it was more of like a test for Keith Lee, right? A test to see how he was going to react to the situation. And a lot of people are calling him sassy. A lot of people are saying it's not that serious and But his feelings are completely valid, right? Everyone has their own say and whatever. I think that it was just miscommunication on all ends. But I feel like this was specifically a test for Keith Lee because of all this cancer returning, all this cancer energy, looking at his Cancer moon. Like everyone's looking like, oh, how is he going to react? What is his emotions going to be? Everyone's talking about his feelings like, oh, he's sassy. Oh, he did too much. There's so much conversation and processing around his emotions. Like, oh, he should have done this. It's not that big of a deal. It's like, okay, girl, but this is what happened. This is how he processed his emotions. And with that opposing his Jupiter in Capricorn, he has to be careful about making decisions that's going to affect his legacy, that's going to affect his money, that's going to affect his abundance, right? And even with that, I feel like this was a really testing moment for him to be like, girl, don't mess up the bag. Like even with he has a Leo Mars. Like he is a fighter. He is a fighter. And it's crazy because he has a Leo Mars, but it's conjunct that Lilith. I think that there's a part of him that can be very, very impulsive when it comes to things that he wants, things that he desires, even like his sex. It can be very impulsive. And the fact that he has, okay, so I was looking at this earlier and I was like, this is a very interesting chart. So he has a Saturn in Aries and he has his South Node in Aries, right? But currently transiting the North Node is in Aries. So he's having his inverse nodal return, right? Like it's like literally, it's not exactly on his South Node, but it's really, really close. Like look how close that is. So inverse nodal return, there is some experiences and there's some habits and traits that you have to leave behind that are coming up again to be like to kind of test you to say, hey, are you leaving this old way of thinking, this old way of acting behind? And it's going to show up in itself and to be like, are you doing the work? Are you acknowledging the work that needs to be done? And with the fact that it's in Aries, his South Node is in Aries, so he has all of this in Libra. He has the Sun in Libra, Chiron in Libra, and North Node in Libra. So for me, this looks like somebody who came from a past life of being like hyper independent, being hyper fixated, being maybe a little reckless with that Aries energy. Like Aries in its lowest octave is very impulsive, very aggressive, very just abrasive. And I think, the fact that he has this conjunction with Saturn and South Node, I feel like there's karma from a past life associated with being too volatile, being too aggressive, being too abrasive, being too self-centered, right? And now in this lifetime, he is being propped up to operate in a more harmonious and balanced way with his relationships. And even with the fact that he has Chiron conjunct his sun, like there is like a wound around self-expression. There is a wound around feeling comfortable in relationships. But the wounded healer, Chiron is the wounded healer. Like you have wounds. That doesn't mean that those wounds have to stay with you forever. Like the wound's going to be there, but you have the opportunity to work through those wounds and work with them, right? To integrate the lessons that come with it so that you can teach others and teach yourself the valuable lessons learned. Like with it being in Libra, he is supposed to he is supposed to be somebody that is very diplomatic, very cooperative, very logical and structured and pragmatic. Because Libra, people are like, oh, Libra, they're just so airhead. They're airheads. They're this. Libras are very strategic. Like Libras make it their duty to make things easy and make things harmonious and working with others. It's what Libras love to do, and it's honestly their calling. Um, and the fact that he has Aries in the South Node, let me see. Yeah, it's not touching his Mars. His Mars, his Mars, yeah, there's nothing. Oh, yeah. So with the transit, he had Leo Mars squaring this Mars and Taurus. So I feel like there was an opportunity for him to be impulsive. I think dropping the rose was a little impulsive, right? Because people are gonna come and people are gonna say, "Hey, oh my God, why did he do this? What is he thinking? Why is he so emotional? Blah 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 blah." Because maybe he did act impulsively. Maybe even though he said it's not about Taraji, people have this perception of him already as someone that is emotional, someone that is volatile, right? And this is a strong opposition. This is a strong opposition. Mars square Mars, that is really rough energy, really, really rough energy. Like Taurus wants to take a more diplomatic approach. Taurus wants to be very stable and wants to take things slower, right? But with Leo, they want to be bold and they want to show up and they want to, make an appearance and be very energized in that. And that squares off with Taurus energy. That they're completely different. They're both fixed modalities, but the way that they go about operating is very different. And even, yeah, yeah. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like if he just leaves it alone, he leaves it alone and he takes this as a learning lesson on how to approach situations with less emotion behind them, then he'll be fine. He'll be fine, And even with that Saturn, it's like Saturn and Aries, there is like some restriction when it comes to the way that you express your anger. And I feel that like when there's not a way for you to exercise your anger, it can get really pent up and it can get really volatile if it's not expressed in a good way. So there's karma around that. There's karma. Maybe he was somebody in a past life who was, you know, super overbearing, super dominating, almost downright like violent to a point where it was too much. And the fact that he's a Leo Mars and he was a MMA fighter. I don't know if it's MMA or UFC, correct me in the comments, but the fact that he has that, yeah, like that was a way for him to exercise that anger. That was a way for him to exercise, his frustrations. But with the Lilith right there, I mean, it's not really. Yeah, I mean, even with Lilith right there, it could have gone from like being a creative outlet, right, an exercising outlet to becoming a little bit toxic. So I'm glad he got out of that. I feel like with that Cancer moon, even like how it's squaring off with that Jupiter and Capricorn, integrating family life, integrating being a more being like yeah, integrating family life, being somebody that is literally profiting off of his family. I'm not saying he's profiting off his family, but like he's been known to move in a family unit, having his kids, having his wife. That has gave him that like emotional fulfillment so that he can integrate into his abundance with that Capricorn Jupiter. Yeah, I just feel like this was a time that unfortunately this was just a very this was a time where he just had a lot of eyes on him, a lot of eyes, a lot of illumination with the sun, a lot of just questioning, like, what is he gonna do? What's going on? So when I was pulling cards, I was like, okay, what should he learn from this? What is the outcome? And let's actually do it because I just pulled some other ones. He doesn't really have anything else going on, but it was just a time, and plus, the South Node is on his sun, it's on his Chiron, it's on the South Node. He's just going through a time of releasing trauma, releasing karma around relationships, and it's affecting him. It's affecting him, and I'm not saying like relationships with like romantic relationships, but it could be like platonic. Having a new approach to your business partnerships, having a new approach to your friendships and romantic. I don't really know about his wife. If you want to do a synastry, that'd be cool too. But yeah, I mean, even that there's like vertex. Oh yeah. So he has Venus in Virgo. Right here. He has a Mercury in Virgo. Yeah, his Mercury and his Venus aren't really conjoined, but they're in the same sign. But he has Mercury in Virgo, and vertex is right here. Or no, not vertex. Lot of fortune is right here. So he could be really fortunate during this time. Yeah. The thing is, like, it could be bringing him a lot of success and a lot of energy around like how he speaks with this Mars and Taurus. Yeah, I mean, he's getting his money. He's definitely getting his money right now, but I think just doing some self inventory, some self evaluation and self reflection will be really great for him, so that doesn't affect his legacy, doesn't affect his money, doesn't affect his career. And I know that it's saying like second house, first house. We're gonna take that with a grain of salt because I don't know his time of birth, and I just put 12 p.m. as just like a tracker. But yeah, like he is somebody that is really building an empire. He's building a legacy. But he has to realize, because it's not touching each other, but that Cancer moon squaring his sun, there is a need for him to integrate the way that he expresses himself and having that emotional availability to do so. There is some work. I'm sure he's been doing the work, but he has to make sure like his emotions can bring him a lot of money, bring him a lot of success. But if he doesn't keep them in track, it could also bring down that legacy. So he has to really take that into account. Like the same thing people love you for, they start to hate you for. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of eyes on his emotions right now. There's a lot of eyes on his family. I even seen somebody like put a video of his wife and how she reacted, like, oh, well, she had a bad too. Like he is just having a lot of eyes on his family. And once the sun goes into once the sun goes into Leo and it's gonna be on his Mars, people are gonna be like, girl, anyway, back to regular schedule. But he has to just be careful of the way that he expresses his anger, because that might be I would be careful. Tell him to, when it comes to anger, just be careful. Just be careful. I mean, Mars is going to go into Gemini pretty soon, on the 20th. So hopefully that'll just get all that attention off of him and all that aggression away from his Mars. But there might be people just might have just a scope on him, especially because he's a celebrity. He's going through his inverse nodal return. There's just a lot going on with him and who he is. Like the Libra Aries axis, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really not easy. Like cardinal energy, and it's aspected in a bad way. It's not easy because you want to initiate, you want to do something, and you want to prove yourself. But there is a need of patience. There is a need of, you know, checking that temper. But he'll be good. He'll be good. Like I feel like it'll be so cool for him to do like, I don't know, MMA classes for the kids, or I don't know. But with Virgo, I think when we get into Scorpio season, they don't leave him alone. They be like, girl, leave that man alone. But there's just gonna be a lot of eyes on him for a couple of months. Things that he says, how he acts, how he reacts, how he shows up in the world. I think when we have Libra season, he'll do some like self-reflection. He'll put out like some documentary or something showing who he is, showing his struggle. I think doing some good PR for him right now will be really, really good to get these people off his back. Because I'm like, leave Keith Lee alone. That boy don't do nothing but be with his kids, be with his wife, and go eat some food. And y'all want to tear that man down. People is crazy. People is crazy. People is crazy. So I want to pull some cards to give him some advice. What should Keith Lee be focused on moving forward? What should Keith Lee be focused on moving forward? Bro, this is the same card I pulled when I was like pulling before. He's focused on his money. He's focused on his money. Like all this other stuff in the background, all these people they talk about him, but he's focused. He's determined. He's like, okay, girl, y'all have it. Y'all have these, you in Baller Alert, all these blogs talking about me. Y'all have it. I'm focused on my money. I'm focusing on my legacy. I'm focusing on my career. Y'all need a job. Y'all need a job. Okay. What should Keith Lee be focusing on moving forward? What should Keith Lee be focusing on moving forward? Yeah. This is definitely a transformative time for him, for sure. Even stuff that we don't even know in the background. I think that he's growing up as a man. He's shedding former versions of himself with this inverse no return. And, it's causing a lot of fight. Even if this is like internal fighting, external fighting, this is causing a lot of conflict. But, but he's going to be focused on that bag for sure. He's going to be focused on that bag. He'll be like, girl, whatever. Like, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to go to anger management therapy, whatever. And the thing about it is what's so crazy. I seen a video of some guy. He like ran up on him. He was like, yeah, like, I don't even know what he said. He was like, yeah, da, 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 da. The thing about it is so crazy is that when you're focusing on leaving aspects of yourself behind and you're trying to do better for yourself, it's like the universe sends you tests. Like, you sure you good? You sure you good? That nigga could have got flipped that day. Running up on Keith Lee, Leo Mars, that nigga that nigga would have been gone. Oh my God. And then, we have Pluto and Aquarius. It's opposing his Mars. Yeah. Yeah, the way that he goes about things is changing. The way that he approaches relationships, the way that he approaches his desires, and he expresses his emotions, it's changing. It's changing, it's transforming for the better, for sure. But change and transformation, it's not easy. Like, people are like, oh, he got all this money, everyone's going through their own thing. Everyone is going through their own inner transformation, especially with Pluto and Aquarius, especially with the North Node in Libra, North Node in Aries, conjoined to Chiron in Aries, like we are all going through our own things. We're all learning how to be independent, all while still trying to be cooperative with others, not trying to be codependent, not trying to be overly forceful, but not trying to be a people pleaser. We're all going through it. We're all learning. We're all learning. We're all learning, right? Okay, give me one. Okay, what should Keith Lee be focusing on moving forward? A brand new start, baby. A brand new start. A brand new start. He's getting to his coin. He's getting to his coin. He's changing. Don't get me wrong. This is not the last we're gonna see Keith Lee. I feel like Keith Lee is going to be a household name. I feel like he is going to build some empire that we have not seen before. I feel like he's going to put his family on. I'm trying to see. Sorry. I'm trying to see. So, what? Okay. This right here, it says his MC is a Virgo. We're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that because I'm not sure. I don't have his birth time exactly. We can discuss that more at a later date, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, we're going to get one more card for Keith Lynn Lee. Y'all, leave that boy alone. Leave Keith Lee alone. Y'all want to suck the fun out of everything. If anything, hold the people, the producers at BET accountable. Like, anyone will be like, bitch, what the fuck? Y'all better get my name right. People talking about he's sassy. People have their own way of processing information and processing emotions. I feel like he knows what is at stake, so he can't react in the way he wants to. He want to beat a nigga up so bad. He want to beat a nigga up so bad, but he's like, girl, there's so much on the line. He sees the future. He's like, I know where I want to go. Ah! Oh my God, stop. Oh my God, did I sound like Stop it. He's like, I know where I want to go. I want to put my family on. I want to beat that nigga up so bad, but I can't. And it's like, it's fucking with him. Like, if you're somebody you already know, like, have y'all ever fucked with a hood nigga? Let me stop being ghetto, but have y'all ever fucked with a hood nigga? They be wanting to like really like, let's go at it. You feel me? But then they have so much to lose. They have so much to live for. They can't go back to the old way of doing things. They have to change. With this newfound foundation he's building, he's like, I have to learn how to just like suck it up. And I have to learn to just kind of bite my tongue a little bit. And it sucks because he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. He's like, girl, I will literally kill you. Like, sun square moon. I got sun opposing moon. So we here. It's a little, So like, I get it. I completely get it, Keith. You just gotta eat that. I'm sorry. You gotta like punch the wall and be like, all right. I know it's hard. It's really hard, but you got this, Keith. I believe in you, Keith. Okay, so what is the message for Keith? What is the message for Keith Lee? What? Clarify the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, he got the King of Pentacles. He can do his money. But the Five of Pentacles, I feel like he is going through a moment of like contemplation, like, ooh, I don't want this to mess up my money. So he's kind of like feeling a little anxious. He's kind of feeling like a little scared, like, oh my God, is my career over? But it's not, baby. It's not over. I think you should take this as a learning opportunity. Like, man, this could have gone completely worse. This could have gone crazy. I think he did a good job with, the tools that he has. But, he's just focusing on that money. He's focusing on his coin. It is giving him like a little bit of like, because he's like, damn, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to poverty. I don't want to go back to the life that I had. I'm building something more. I can't do it. Like he's literally like, I can't. I gotta get this money. I built so much. I have so much to live for. I have so much to celebrate. I can't let this stop me, you know? This nigga is building something. He is building a legacy. Keeply, give me a job, please. Oh my gosh. But yes, this is it, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I'm filming this on the 4th. Gang, gang, gang. Happy birthday, America. And as always, you guys, if you want your own personal reading from me, make sure you email me at goldenflamehealing@gmail.com. There's gonna listen, Keekly, I'm trying to build with you, okay? I'm trying to just completely reinvent this channel and my business model so that it can be a little bit more integrated for you guys, so that you can feel a little bit more, need more of understanding what I do, because I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall right now. But yes, you guys, I hope you have a great one. Have a great 4th if you're with your family. Have a great one. Eat a hot dog for me. Make sure it's beef, no pork. And I hope you have a great one. I hope you have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.